we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Kevin Looney is a great champion with the Warriors, and this season he hasn't had great performances. The Warriors will trade him for another player. Strengthening the team at this time is essential, and Kevin Looney will be involved in business. The 3x NBA champion is becoming a candidate to be included in a trade for a starting center before the deadline. As the Golden State Warriors have floundered into mediocrity over the last month, their rotation has been in constant flux. Some players have effectively been cut out, while others like Tracy Jackson-Davis have seen increased roles. One player, however, has been sidelined almost entirely in recent games. Kevin Looney hasn't played in 4 of the last 6 Warriors games, with his minutes in one of those games coming in garbage time against the Philadelphia 76ers. Kevin Looney could find himself on the trade block. After the acquisition of Dennis Schroeder, the Warriors look to continue to be active on the trade market. Looney, as a result of his reduced role, is looking more and more likely to be included in any trade that could take place this season. The 28-year-old has never been known for his offense and has stuck with the Warriors primarily as a result of his defensive presence and rebounding, whether in a starting or bench role. Through 30 games this season, Looney has averaged 5.0 points, 6.7 rebounds, and 1.6 assists. While these numbers align, largely, with his career averages, his effectiveness on the court has taken a sharp downturn from last season. His current 2-point percentage sits at 54.1%, a decrease of over 5% from last year, and his free throw numbers are down to an abysmal 43.2%. Head coach Steve Kerr has opted in recent games for a small ball bench lineup, utilizing Moses Moody and/or Kyle Anderson playing above their customary position and tasking them with guarding and matching physically with giants such as Zach Edey or Joel Embiid. The fact that the 6 feet 9 inches Looney is seen as a less optimal choice in the rotation for those minutes than Anderson or Moody is a massive sign of a decrease in confidence on the part of the coaching staff. Additionally, Jackson-Davis' recent emergence into the starting lineup has contributed to blocking Looney from the rotation. With the Warriors seemingly out on disgruntled Miami Heat star Jimmy Butler, their most desperately needed, and most likely, acquisition through trade comes in the form of a floor-spacing center. While Tracy Jackson-Davis has played well recently, he has been outmuscled against opposing star big men and would likely fit better coming off the bench. Looney, who makes $8 million on an expiring contract this year, would be an almost necessary inclusion in such a trade. Any team giving up a starting caliber center, such as the Washington Wizards or Chicago Bulls, would require a player in return to fill those minutes on the back end. While Looney's contract would only begin to solve the salary matching issue surrounding such a trade, his veteran presence would also be an appealing acquisition for a rebuilding team. Therefore, as the trade deadline nears, it is likely that Kevin Looney's name will appear in trade talks regarding any acquisitions the Warriors might look to make. Rookie big man delivers statement performance amid Warriors trade rumors. With the chances of a blockbuster trade for a star seemingly dwindling, the Golden State Warriors appear to be setting their sights on an upgrade at the center position prior to the February 6 deadline. Those aspirations were outlined by ESPN's Mark J. Spears during Tuesday's episode of NBA Today, having mentioned Nikola Vucevic along with more unlikely options like Walker Kessler, John Collins, Jonas Valanciunas, and Miles Turner. But right now, the Warriors seem much more interested in adding a big to go alongside Draymond Green and his team than another shooting guard, Spears said. The Warriors have an intriguing stretch big on their roster. Amid all the speculation of Golden State chasing another big man, rookie Quinton Post delivered another notable performance on Tuesday that suggests he shouldn't be forgotten about in the entire discussion. Post had a career-high 30 points in the Santa Cruz Warriors' 112-101 victory over the Iowa Wolves at Wells Fargo Arena, with the 52nd overall pick going for 20 points in a perfect first half shooting from the floor. Post's 30 points came on 11 of 14 from the floor, showcasing his tantalizing shooting ability by burying 5 of his 7 attempts from beyond the arc. The 7-footer also added 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals and a block in Santa Cruz's 11-point win. It's far from a one-off performance from Post either, with Tuesday's career high signaling his third straight game with at least 20 points. Post poured in his previous career high of 27 points against the Wolves on the weekend, having shot 10 of 15 from the floor while also adding a monster 16 rebounds and 3 assists in a 136-130 victory. The Dutchman started January with a 20-point, 12-rebound, 5-assist performance in 29 minutes against the Sioux Falls Skyforce. Post is now averaging 25.7 points, 12.3 rebounds and 3.3 assists in his last 3 games, shooting an impressive 70% from the floor and 52.9% from three-point range. In some ways it's very unfortunate that Post isn't a further year or two into his development, with his skill set exactly what Golden State need right now. If the front office don't make a move and Post continues this kind of G League production, there might actually be some calls for him to come up to the main squad. For now the Warriors will look to pursue a more veteran option who could be a legitimate starter and a genuine playoff rotation if they manage to make it that far. Warriors prioritizing frontcourt help before trade deadline. Leading up to the trade deadline, Jimmy Butler has been the most prominent name linked to the Golden State Warriors. However, it appears the Warriors have bigger targets in mind, figuratively and literally. According to Clutch Points NBA insider Brett Siegel, Golden State will try to use their expiring contracts and remaining second-round draft assets to add a key frontcourt talent. Several names could be on the Warriors' radar with the annual trade deadline looming. According to Siegel, Jonas Valanciunas, Nikola Vucevic, Chris Boucher, Day'Ron Sharpe, and Nick Richards could all be options for Golden State. However, in recent weeks, Valanciunas and Vucevic have been heavily linked to the Warriors. Both centers can extend the offense to the perimeter, perfectly complementing Golden State's offense. But which one is the better option for Golden State? Which floor-spacing big should the Warriors target? While either option makes sense for Golden State, Vucevic has a much higher upside with his all-star pedigree. Vucevic is one of the best big men on this year's market. He is averaging 20.5 points, 10.2 rebounds, and 3.3 assists per game on career-high shooting efficiency. The Warriors' offense ranks 16th in offensive rating. Nikola Vucevic is among the few frontcourt players who could boost their scoring. His post skills would add a valuable layer to the team's offensive strategy. Additionally, his ability to stretch the floor would maintain the necessary spacing. Vucevic excels at rebounding and creating scoring opportunities as a screener. These qualities make him an ideal fit for the Warriors' style of play. However, Golden State may need to slow its tempo slightly to maximize its effectiveness. While Vucevic's $21.0 million owed next season could deter some, it may not be the hardest thing for certain teams to talk themselves into as the trade deadline approaches. Considering the bonuses he can give Golden State on offense, the Warriors might want to pay the price to acquire Vucevic. To clarify, the example considers trading players like Gary Payton II, Kevin Looney, and Lindy Waters III, who have expiring contracts, to make the financial aspects of a deal more feasible. The question is whether the Chicago team would agree to this arrangement if it included 2 or 3 future second-round draft picks. Alternatively, what if the trade involved just 1 second-round pick or no draft capital at all but instead included 22-year-old Moses Moody in place of Payton? Regardless of what they offer, Golden State has the pieces to make a swing for Vucevic. The price could be high, considering the Chicago center is having an all-star caliber season. But if Vucevic is who the Warriors desire, they'll pay whatever it takes to acquire him.